All right. So we have two people on the call that are just going to quickly introduce themselves. There'll be some familiar faces that you'll see once you get to St. Thomas. Miho, would you like to quickly introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Miho Patani, Director of International Student and Scholar Services. Let's see.
Thanks,
I
Miho.
look forward to seeing you all, meeting you all soon, and feel free to contact us anytime if you have any questions. But I just can't wait to see you all in the end of January. Okay? Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.
Thank you, Miho. Paul, are you able to introduce yourself quick?
Yeah, no problem. Hi everyone. My name is Paul Stanley. I'm the immigration specialist here at St. Thomas. Most of you probably have been in contact with me at some point. For those of you who are exchange students, I work with U.S. government systems to generate your immigration documents for your visa appointments. Um, when you're here at St. Thomas, I'll be the one along with Tina. We are advisors on immigration issues, so we make sure that you stay in your immigration status and you're following the requirements set for your visa status by the U.S. government. And then for those of you who are doing exchanges, I'm kind of the point person. You can reach out to me and ask questions. And just a heads up, my specialty is immigration advising. So you certainly can ask questions. What I'll probably do, though, if I don't know the answer, you'll often find that I'll route you to a member of the team who has more of a specialty in that area. So I know there's a few folks on the call, for example, that had some questions about housing and when to arrive on the day of arrival and things like that. And so that's why our team is great because beyond the immigration stuff, we'll have someone who I know can support you with those questions. So I think as you're in the call today, make sure if you have non-immigration related questions, questions about housing or arrival or orientation processes, Tina's a great resource for that. And then once again, I'm here to support your immigration needs. Always feel free to reach out to me at any time.
Thanks, Paul. All right. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Miho. Amanda, are you ready to
Yeah,
introduce
I'm
yourself?
Yes. Good morning. Hi, you guys. Hi, Esther. Hi, Ahmed. As Yusuf. Nice to see you, kind of. We're so excited to have you in a couple weeks. I know you guys are part of the exchange crew, so we'll talk a lot about that. You guys are all exchange students on this call as of right now, but you won't be the only students. It looks like some people maybe just couldn't come to the call, so we're going to record it so you can watch it back later, and students who couldn't come could also watch it. Cool. Talk to you soon.
All right, everyone, I'm going to share my screen. We have a presentation we're going to go through. It has a lot of information, so if you have any questions, please, you can type them in the chat. You can, you can unmute yourself. There's a way to raise your hand in Zoom as well. But please, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to be mindful of time because I know it's probably late, depending on where you are. But if you have any questions, please let me know. I think everybody can see my screen. Is that right? If you want to just type yes in the chat box, or you can say yes, but I'm sharing my screen. You can see it? Good. Thank you,
Yeah.
Esther. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about some important things here. So the first one is airport pickup. We do have a airport pickup link. It has been sent out in the pre-arrival email that we sent just before Christmas. If you visit our orientation website, which I'll share later, the the airport pickup link is there as well. So if you could share important information like your flight number and your time of arrival in Minneapolis, we will be able to facilitate pickup for you. We have our student leaders typically meet you at the airport and bring you to campus. We are um, we are located about 10 minutes from the Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport, so it's a pretty quick ride. Um, And yeah, so please fill out that form. Give us as much detailed information as you can so that we're able to help get you from the airport to campus. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please sign up as soon as possible so that we can get the logistics figured out for airport pickup. If you have any questions, though, you're free to email me, um, and or you can ask during this call as well. Okay, so Amanda, I might need your help on this one. I'm just not sure if this
Ah,
applies to anybody on the call. Could you talk?
um, that's a great question. I don't think it does. Exchange students, you guys don't need to bring like hard copies of your existing transcripts. Um, Honestly, I can get them from somebody at your university if we need them. But you don't have to worry as much about this. This is for students who are enrolling for their full degree here. So you should be okay, no problem.
Okay. Okay, and so these are just some of the faces that you may have been working with. Amanda introduced herself. We have our other international mission staff, John, Lou, Anju, and Hian. These are people that you may have been working with. And then when you get to St. Thomas, these are some of the faces that you'll see. In addition to Amanda, Lou, and John, Miho, you met earlier, is the director of the Office of International Students and Scholars. And then, of course, there's myself, Paul, who you met, who also does a lot of international student advising. And then Amy is our front desk person. If you have any questions, Amy can get you where you need to go. Amy knows all the things. So she's a great resource if you have questions. Um, and it looks like we have someone special joining us. B, are you here?
Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm here.
B, could you just briefly introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hello, my name is B. I'm an international student from Ethiopia. I'm a junior, studying international studies currently, and I'm really excited to meet everyone.
B is one of our international orientation leaders, so she will be with you on that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday that you arrive. B is one of our students that will also be picking you up at the airport on that Wednesday arrival day, and she'll be helping you a lot those first couple of days that you are here in the US before classes start. B's a great resource. She can answer all of your questions about being a student at the University of St. Thomas, right, B?
Yep.
Okay, B, B, I'm gonna ask you one quick question, okay?
Okay.
If you had any advice for a new student coming to St. Thomas, what would you tell them?
All right. Oh, well, considering you're coming during this break, maybe like bring warm clothes is one of the biggest one I would say right now. Bring a little souvenir from home, just a tiny thing to remind you because it's gonna be fun. Or maybe something you want to share with your friends to show your culture would be really nice. And yeah, and one big thing after you come here is kind of stick with OISS because it helps a lot to be around and visit and all your answers, well, your questions will be answered there. So yeah.
Thank you, B. That was awesome.
Good point, B. Oh, we should, on B's point, if you did want to bring clothing from home, we should bring clothes, but like cultural clothing, we will be having multiple big, nice, I wouldn't say fancy, but like people dress nice and they dress in either cultural clothes or nice clothes to go to these big dinners because all the cultural clubs stick their dinners in the spring typically. And then our office, along with International Student Union, does the International Student Dinner, which is in April. So all of you guys get to come and it's super fun. Everybody like can carry their flag and eat yummy food but everyone does dress like either nice or in cultural clothes. So just so you know, if you were thinking about packing that, you would get a chance to use it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Amanda B. Okay, so just a quick note about entering the US. Um, Once you get to the US, you'll enter what's called the port of entry. So you might be entering at Minneapolis, you might be entering in Washington, D.C., whatever airport you enter in. Excuse me. You'll go through the U.S. Customs and Border Protection or Border Patrol. Just have your documents ready, whatever that may be. That might be your visa, your passport. That may be your. Some of you may have your I-20 or your DS 2019, depending on what your status is. Um, and they will probably just ask you, what school you're attending, what's your major. They'll probably just ask you a couple of questions. Sometimes you might be directed to secondary inspection. That's not to scare you. It just means they may have additional questions to ask you. You may have to wait a little bit. That's why we do recommend that you fly into or arrive at Minneapolis as your first destination within the US because they are familiar with the University of St. Thomas. The other thing is if you are issued what's called an I-94, we always recommend that you download that as soon as you can. Sometimes there are errors on the I-94. This is just a record of your arrival in the US, where you arrived, what day you arrived. They typically put in your passport number, things like that. If there are any errors, you can resolve it immediately. So we always recommend that you check that as soon as possible. And again, we can share that link. If you just go to Google or whatever search, you can just type in I-94, form I-94. Okay. Of course, again, some questions you might be asked, what's the purpose of your visit to the United States? You can say, I'm an exchange student, I'm an F1 student, studying, just be honest and truthful. Okay. So we do also have a list of items to prepare. You can scan the code. You'll see that there's this pre-arrival checklist. We'll talk about a couple of these things as we go through the call. But a really important one here we'll talk about later is taking and uploading your ID photo. You'll need that because it's part of your student ID. If you're not in the US currently, you'll also want to complete the airport pickup form like we just spoke about. Just taking a look at the rest of the items on the list, we'll talk about your housing assignments, health insurance, and then other things we just want you to be aware of is figure out how you're going to pay for things once you get here. If you want to bring some cash, if you are going to use your bank card from your home country, we will also be taking a trip to a local bank where you can open a bank account if you need to. We'd also suggest that you download apps, Canvas, Outlook, which is where your St. Thomas email is going to be coming from. Another really important one is multi-factor authentication. There are steps on the St. Thomas website that you can go through to set up multi-factor authentication, but that's going to be really important for you to access your email and other websites and apps that the campus uses, okay? And then please also let us know your travel plans. That's really important so that we can facilitate airport pickup. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. We are planning on doing international student orientation. This is January 28th, 29th, and 30th. Amanda, housing assignments have been sent out.
They are assigned.
They're assigned.
So
They're
if
assigned.
you have not gotten an email, check your St. Thomas email because that's typically where they send them to. So if you haven't claimed your St. Thomas email, let me know if you need help or if you're confused about that process. But you have to set up your account. Anybody from AUC, Paul is sending or has sent your ID number, which you need to claim your account, and then you can log into your St. Thomas email and start poking around and figuring out how things work. We will help you. But also just in case you want to check your email about residence life. And then if you're from Charles University, I sent your ID just last week. So if you need help, and then if you're from neither of those and you are just coming to St. Thomas for your degree, you already claimed your account to get your I-20. So you're set.
Okay, so I also just wanted to show you our international orientation website. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. We have the complete schedule posted here. We also have the arrival information form here. We'd like you to sign up by Friday the 23rd, just so that we have time to put together your schedule and arrival information. I can go through the schedule just very briefly. You can also take a look at it on your own. When you come to campus, we'll ask you to come to campus and just check in with one of us, one of our international student advisors. We also have some events too. We have a little campus tour that, like you met B earlier, and we have another international orientation leader named Akshata. They'll be here to help you, show you around campus, show you some of the fun spots, study spots, where to get food, all kinds of stuff. We'll have dinner together, and then Thursday is kind of a slower day, so we know that you might be tired. You might need some time to kind of rest and decompress, but we will have a chance for you to meet with your academic advisor. We'll have lunch. For those of you that are F1 students, we will have a orientation session that's required. We will go through all of the immigration regulations as an F1 student. And then Miho, who you met earlier, if you're J1, she will be speaking to exchanges about their experience and their time at St. Thomas. I did mention earlier that if you do need to open a bank account, or if you'd like to shop for some things like shampoo and conditioner or toothpaste or snacks, we are going to go to a shopping center that's not too far from campus. There's a Target, which is a big department store that has food, clothes, snacks, like I said, anything that you might need, we will go there. So that's why I also mention, please make a plan for money, whether you bring cash or you are going to be using your credit or debit card from your home country for a while. Please do have a plan for cash. You can sign up for a bank account, but it will take a little bit for you to receive your new bank card. So please, again, have a plan. Thursday night, we're going to do bowling with current students. So we're going to have a really fun night of bowling and food with staff and current students on campus. We have a bowling alley on campus, actually. So we've rented that out for you. And then another thing that we just want to turn your attention to is there is orientation session, but Amanda, correct me if I'm wrong. Exchange students do not need to attend.
Mm-mm. I mean, you
No,
can, but
it's
optional for
it's
you.
optional, and it's at 8:30 in the morning. Um,
Make your choice.
if you if you're an F1 student who will be completing their degree here, that is required though, and you do need to attend the spring orientation session on Friday morning. If you do not attend, you'll get a hold on your account, and we'd rather you attend and not have to deal with that. Plus, you get a lot of really important information. And then something really fun that we have planned on Friday afternoon is 3:30 in the afternoon. We're going to be going to the Mall of America. Mall of America is about, Amanda, I would say 20 minutes from here.
I would say like 12 to 15, but it
Okay.
depends on how fast you drive, I guess. Yeah.
Um, I think it's still the biggest mall in
It
America,
is
or
the
it
biggest
is,
mall
okay.
in the US.
Still the biggest mall in the US. They have tons of food, I don't know, hundreds of shops.
Mhm.
Um, if you needed something like a winter coat, or if you wanted to try, your first American hamburger, I don't know. You have lots of options. It's a fun place. Our international student orientation leaders will take you there. It's always a fun
And there's an
experience.
amusement park in the middle.
Yeah, there's a roller coaster in the middle of the mall, so
It's
you
a
can
vibe.
tell that it's big. Okay, we are going to go back to the presentation. One more thing I wanted to just remind you is that meal plans begin on February 2nd at 4 p.m. Actually, I'm going to check my calendar. Hang on. I just want to make sure that's the correct
Yeah.
day.
Well, either way, they're not going to start right when you get there. Latina checks for sure to confirm the date that they open up. So your meal plan is part of your bill, scholarship, however your situation's working, but you're paying for your meal plan basically for this semester and onward. But it doesn't start until classes start. You guys come early because of orientation. So that's why you'll see on your schedule that we're putting in quite a few meals
because we want to feed you. So we are feeding you for several meals, but just know that you might also be responsible for feeding yourself for a couple meals. You do not have to eat those meals that you're responsible for on campus, but you can. You can also go get Uber Eats, or you guys can decide you want to go somewhere nearby, or when we go to the Mall of America, you guys can eat there. So, like, that's also strategically some of the things that we've done to help cover some of the food costs before your meal plan starts.
Yeah, and I'm so sorry. I made a typing error. Meal plans actually begin on Saturday morning, so that's good.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
great. That's way better.
So yeah, so you will there will be obviously we'll bring you out for lunch and dinner, but Friday you may be on your own. So again, I just wanted to kind of reiterate having a plan for money, especially if you're not planning on opening a bank account. But I will update the schedule so that information is correct.
Saturday,
Okay.
January 31st, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. Okay, so please, I'm not sure how much this applies to you that are on the call. But if you are not arriving by plane, please tell us what your plan is so we can help you get to campus. We typically make WhatsApp groups, kind of depending on your arrival. So downloading WhatsApp would probably be helpful just because it's the easiest way to connect with you, especially on that Wednesday. There may be flight delays, there may be flight cancellations, things like that. So if you could download WhatsApp, that would be very helpful.
We will, sorry, we have an office
Yeah.
cell phone, and so we'll create a WhatsApp group that you can use for orientation. And then the leaders will be in it, some of us will be in it, just for quick communication or questions. And then we'll close it down second week of school or something like that. And if you guys want to change numbers, that's fine. But we're just not going to keep using it as a mode of communication. The US loves email. So we're going to go back to email. But for orientation, it's important that you can ask questions quickly because it's new and there's a lot going on.
And then in the pre-arrival email that we sent and on our website, there is a place where it links to your student ID. There is also directions in the orientation Canvas module, but your student ID is your room key to your residence hall. It also provides you it also gives you access to all the facilities on campus. You'll get your physical ID when you arrive, but it makes things a lot easier if you can upload your photo ahead of time. So if you can follow this link and have a photo ready to upload. You can do it when you get here, but we really strongly, strongly, strongly advise you actually to do it before you arrive. And we can also pick those up for you. It just makes things a lot easier for us, but more importantly, it makes things easier for you. So you can follow the instructions online on how to do that. We also have a packing list for your convenience. Please make sure that you read thoroughly, as there are certain things that you can't bring into the United States. And again, you can click the link here. We also have it on our website. I would say, depending on where you're coming from, if you haven't experienced a winter before, it's going to be cold for the first couple of months that you're here. It typically starts to warm up about March. Sometimes it snows in April. But I would say probably one of the most important things is to bring warmer clothes. If you don't have a winter jacket, that can obviously be bought here too if you want to, but bring some warm clothes. It'll start to warm up in between March and April. But I'm also from Minnesota, so maybe my idea of what's warm is very different than your idea of what's warm, depending on where you're coming from. So plan accordingly. If you have any medications, you'll want to check on what you need to bring those in, but typically, your prescription, things like that. We also have a Center for Well-Being, which we'll talk about here in just a couple of minutes too, which can provide you access to doctors and things like that. Okay, so when you arrive on campus, you're going to hear a lot of terms like One St. Thomas, Murphy, Canvas. These are all, Amanda, what are they? Websites?
Websites.
Intranet websites that are used on campus or for St. Thomas users. So One St. Thomas is kind of a one-stop place. you can access your email through One St. Thomas. You can access Murphy. Murphy is where you'll see your class schedules, where you'll see your grades, all kinds of things. Excuse me.
Your bill.
Your bill. You can access Canvas, which is where you'll access all of your classes, your class materials, assignments, quizzes, tests, things like that. So One St. Thomas is a place that you'll be using pretty much, I would say, every day. You can also organize it how you'd like. This is what it looks like, from Amanda's perspective. It may look a little different because you're a student. But One St. Thomas, a lot of people will say, oh, just go to One St. Thomas. You'll be able to find everything on One
Like
St.
the website for like how you guys looked up stuff on St. Thomas's website, but it's internal only, so it's more helpful. So only those with a login to St. Thomas can log in. So it's the inside website, and then there's the outside website, which you've probably all seen. So
Okay, so I mean, and then I know I mentioned the Center for Wellbeing, but we do just want to mention that on campus we have something called the Center for Wellbeing, which is our um, health service center. They have counseling and psychological services. They have health services if you need to see a doctor, things like that. It is located on campus. And again, this is on the One St. Thomas page. So if you did want to make an appointment, you can go to One St. Thomas, you can search Center for Wellbeing, and it'll bring you to this page where it'll have instructions on how to access the center, how to make an appointment, all that kind of stuff. Um, Amanda, I hate to defer to you, but I don't know about immunizations
you.
for
So
June.
you guys do need 2 immunizations to live on campus. I think one of them's measles, and the other one's like something else. Typhoid, tetanus. It's on the website. If you don't have those things, don't sweat it. We can give them to you when you get here. It's covered by your health insurance. You just go to the Center for Wellbeing. It's not a problem. So don't worry. If you probably all already have them though, because they're very standard things that spread easily in big groups because you're in housing. So that's why they're required. So nobody gets sick. COVID vaccine is not required, but just so you know. I think everybody at this point in the world probably has some kind of variation of that. So you can go through all this. You can always chat with us when you get here if you're really unsure of how this works. We are going to be doing a session that's covering like how health insurance works in the US for all students, just as a good reminder and a good thing for new students in probably your first month or two here. But always just ask. We're your like first stop if you ever need anything. But if we're not sure, we'll point you in the right direction, of course. Questions about this, because health insurance is a really tricky thing, and a lot of students typically have questions about this. Do you guys have any questions?
You have questions, you're welcome to email or type in the chat box. At the end, if we have a few minutes and you want to ask a personal, question, I'm sure we might have a few minutes to talk about that. But again, a lot of this information is on the website too. So if you did want to spend a couple of minutes reading about this to kind of prepare yourself, but like Amanda said, we are going to try to organize a health insurance session because health insurance in the US is particularly complicated, and we don't want you to feel like you can't access the resources that we have on campus. So I mentioned One St. Thomas. Another place that you'll be using a lot is called Canvas. This is all of the online materials for your classes. You can find your syllabi for your courses. They also have orientation sessions, international student orientation, and Tommy Tech module, which kind of introduces you to tech services on campus. But let's say that you're taking Business 200. You'd have a course here on Canvas, which has all of your class materials. Professors may post weekly PowerPoints and slides, depending on what they use. You'd be able to find your syllabi here, deadlines. This is likely where you'll submit all of your assignments. You can view grades, all that kind of stuff. Canvas is accessed within One St. Thomas, and this is a platform that you're going to use every day, multiple times a day. Murphy, again, like we spoke about too, is within the campus. This is where, and you can see the screenshot here. This is where you can view your student records, your student account. You can see your housing information. You can see your bills, grades, all that kind of stuff. Um, and so again, what may be helpful is just to kind of spend some time clicking around and exploring a little bit. Okay, so again, we will share these slides with you. Billing on campus can be kind of a confusing system. We do have a separate business office, which is located just downstairs from our office. If you do have any questions about your billing, we have this guide online, which is a really, really useful guide about e-billing system, understanding your account, and it also has a really important function of how to set up parents and authorized users to help you if they are paying, they would be able, you can set them up as a user, they would be able to access your account and get payments through the system. You can add authorized users such as your parent, your grandparent. If you have a sponsor, they can you can give them access to pay any bills. Um, Again, like we just mentioned about the health insurance session, we are also trying to maybe possibly set up a billing session just because it can be a little bit confusing once you first get here. Okay, I am not going to go through this in too much detail, but if you do want to add an authorized user, such as a parent or a sponsor, this is how you can add them to your bill or the e-pay system. It gives you a pretty detailed breakdown of how to do that. Okay, so another thing that we just wanted to kind of remind you of, just because this may be different compared to where you currently are, but universities in the US can't disclose personal information to a third party about a student without the student's written consent. In the US, parents, guardians, grandparents are all considered third parties. So if you'd like these people to have access to your information, you'd have to give the business office permission to communicate with them about any of your student account information. So that's a personal decision. If you have more questions, you can obviously contact the business office. But this is just something that might be different from your home country or culture compared to the US. So if your grandpa calls and wants to know how you're doing in your math class, they can't tell her unless you've given permission. Amanda, is there anything you want to add about billing or FERPA before we move on?
Mm-mm.
Okay. By the way, guys, if you have any questions, please type them in the chat. You can also unmute yourself if you want to ask a quick question. Don't be nervous to interrupt me. I promise you're not interrupting. Okay, so you should have already been pre-registered for your classes. If you have any questions or concerns, on Thursday morning, the 29th, we do have academic counselors available. I know we at least have one who's available to look over your schedule and help you with any questions that you have. You can also set up Zoom appointments, Amanda, is that right? Do you know
Yeah,
if I think where
they,
you're able to set up
they
Zoom
do all
appointments
different
with
formats. So if you want to talk to somebody now, there's 3 academic counselors that work with each of you guys who work with international students. They are more than happy to do a Zoom beforehand, like right now. I think some of you on this call have actually done that with them. So if you need something about your schedule, just ask. Like we are always happy to help. The academic counseling team's happy to help. Everything's flexible and changeable until the 10th day of class. But obviously, like some classes are full, so you don't want to just assume you can move stuff around super easy. But I know that quite a few of you have already been asking a lot of good questions about class registration and stuff and have already talked to them. So good.
And then room assignments and roommates have already been sent out. So if you do have questions about that, or like if you haven't received it, you can always email reslife@stthomas.edu and they will get back to you about that. Okay, so I'm just
Books.
pausing here.
You want me to do books? Okay.
I'm
So for
sorry.
books, each of you, okay. So on One St. Thomas, your inside website that you're going to explore, there's all the cute little things that you need basically to navigate as a student. One of them is called Canvas. Canvas is basically like, I'm sure a lot of you have used something similar at your current universities or in the past. all your classes will have a little component in Canvas. So you can open it, you can see the syllabus, you can see a note from the professor, you can see some of your assignments, you can probably see some of your grades, things like that. You can see your syllabus in there. So typically the professor will say, hey, you need these materials for class. Typically it's a book or some kind of article or something like that. If your professor is just a little behind and didn't put that up on Canvas yet, when in doubt, you can go to the bookstore website, which is right here. So you just type in the class number that you have, and all of your books required will pop up. You can order them directly through the St. Thomas online bookstore, and they will mail them to you, not at home here at your dormitory. You just pick them up in the mailroom, or you can buy them wherever you want. So the nice thing I like about the bookstore, that's why we're featuring it, is it gives you all the information that you need in one place for all the books that you might need to buy. And then you can go and search online or do whatever you'd like to go find that book. There's a lot of hacks and things like that. B can probably tell you about all the ways that you can find books online for cheap or free or whatever. But just so you know, some students wait until the first day of class to buy the book. Some students look at their syllabus and the professor says, absolutely not. You need to have already read stuff. So please be checking. But even if not now, the day you arrive here. So you have a little bit of a 4-day runway before you start class. Many of you are exchanges, which means you're taking higher level classes, which means you may need to be more prepared on the first day of class. It really depends. But yeah, questions about books or school supplies or things like that. Cool.
And again, I think Be an Extrata too can kind of give you a better
Chit
idea.
chat with you. You guys hang out at orientation and tell you all the
Yeah.
secrets.
Again, you have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with them, and they will be kind of at your disposal for any questions that you have, related to being a St. Thomas student. They are, I think, a junior and a senior, so third and fourth year. So they've been here for a while. I think they have a lot of good information they can share with you. So yeah. Social media, we have quite a bit of social media. Oh, Amanda, we might have to update the.
Don't screenshot that WhatsApp chat. We'll make a new one and we'll just add you guys. And if you
So
don't want
sorry,
to
I
be in
forgot to
it,
update it.
leave the group. No problem. You don't have to be in the WhatsApp group. I have the numbers that you guys applied with mostly. But if you have a number that you would like us to use, just email it to me, okay? I'll be making the WhatsApp group. So you tell me what number you want if you are feeling very strongly about a certain number. And then our office WhatsApp is just changed yesterday. So that Tina, you didn't know. Don't text that number. Here, I'll tell you right now what the number is. You can stick it on
Sorry,
there.
everyone. We just got a new number.
651-703-0005.
Cool.
There you go. If you would like to text or WhatsApp that number, you are more than welcome to. It's the office WhatsApp for international admissions. So you can just do that. Follow the main account that you should take away from this right now if you are an Instagram person is OISS. So the second one down, OISS _ St. Thomas. That is where we post everything current for you guys about like our online office hours, our events, our fun things. We repost stories, we feature you guys, maybe things like that. So that's a great account to follow. And then you can always follow more. If you are curious about your dorm layout, the Res Life Instagram actually has like really good, helpful highlights of each of like the tours of the different buildings. So you can actually see it. It's just a quick spot to go find it. They're also on YouTube, but honestly, it's a lot faster to find it in the highlights. Questions about social media or anything else? Cool.
Cool. Okay. B and Akshata are not here. However, if you do have questions, again, you're going to have opportunities to hang out with them when you arrive that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we've kind
You
of
want to
reached
stop
the
recording?
end. What?
Do you want to stop
Oh,
recording for
yes.
questions?
Yes. Thank you very much for reminding me. Okay,
Mhm.
got it. I'm going to stop recording.